Hi, my name is Mike Edwards. The website is DIY Doctor. Today we're going to be fitting a motion light with a security camera built into it. This is quite a good model. We like this one a lot. It's an ordinary motion light with a PIR, passive infrared detector at the bottom. When that senses movement, the light comes on, but at the same time it triggers in here, it triggers a security camera, and the camera records images in 20-second clips onto SD cards, memory cards. Very, very clever, so that once a day, once a week, once a month you can simply turn it off, take out the memory card and have a look to see what's been happening in your garden while you've been away. It can be used for even, you know, spotting badgers or whatever, hedgehogs. But of course, most of all, it's meant for burglars. But you can double check everything that's gone on in your garden simply by taking out the card and putting it into a laptop, into a card reader, into a laptop, computer, and seeing what's gone on in your garden. This particular model has 2 or 3 modes that we will talk about as we install it. It works in extreme weather conditions. It's completely waterproof. And it can be wired into the mains, or as we're going to do today, wire it into a plug which can go to a socket either in or outside of your home. One really important thing is that socket must be RCD protected. Residual current device must be built into that socket, or that socket must come from an RCD protector in your consumer unit. If you're not sure about that, double check it with an electrician, and please read our projects about electrical safety on the website. So to do the wiring, we are going to use a 1.5mm flex, which is 2 core and earth, live, neutral and earth, and as you can see from the back of the unit wiring, live, which is the brown, the neutral, which is the blue, and the earth, which is the yellow and green. Okay, they will connect up to our flex, which the plug is already attached, and the wire from the plug goes into the back box, or the pattress box, for the unit. This is fixed to the wall, and the unit simply connects to this connecting block, which is already wired up. We've already wired that up with the live, neutral and earth. You can see this black waterproof rubber here. That's called a grommet, and when that unit is on the wall, if any water drips down the back, that grommet is waterproof and protects the cable and of course the internal mechanisms and wiring from getting wet. Okay, so the process to fix this to the wall is quite clearly, there are 2 holes here, 2 fixing holes. If you have a look up on the wall, I've already used a 7mm masonry bit to drill 2 holes. I've pushed red wall plugs into those holes, and I've put the screws there so that I don't lose them. In a moment we're going to take those screws out, put the box on and fix the box to the wall. Once the box is fitted, the wiring from the unit goes into the appropriate blocks on the connector box, and then we're ready to run and test the unit. Some of the tools that we will need we'll go through now. If we can go back down onto the floor. For connecting electrical wires, we use a pair of side cutters. They can be bought quite cheaply. A couple of electrical screwdrivers, cross head and a slot head screwdriver. To drill the holes, we use quite a heavy duty hammer drill, and as I said, a 7mm masonry bit. This is slightly bigger than 7mm, but it gives you an idea. This is an SDS bit. You can see lots about that on our website. SDS drill bits, and a masonry bit you can tell from a normal bit by the tungsten triangle at the end. So that's what we will use to to drill the holes, or that's what we have used. As you can see, we've already done that bit. And then we use an electric screwdriver to put screws into the wall. It makes life a little bit easier. So that's most of the tools. When the cable's up and done, please make sure you've got the correct sized cable clips. These are 8mm clips for a 1.5mm flex, and these fit perfectly, as you will see later when we bang them in, fit perfectly onto the cable. These are masonry nails, so you'll be able to put these into the joint of any masonry work or into render. They will also go into timber, of course. So that's all the bits and pieces that we're going to use. A safe, sturdy set of steps are vital for this kind of job. So we're going to shut the video off now while I get on with putting the back box onto the wall, and then we'll install the unit. Okay, so you can see that we've screwed the back box to the wall. The wires through the grommet's intact, and we've clipped the cable to the wall. In this instance, the garage door frame hasn't long been put in, it's just been fixed, and this needs repointing so that we can seal the cable. There'll be a little piece of conduit going through there to protect the cable from rubbing against the door frame, and on the other side the plug will be plugged into a socket protected by an RCD. So that's the first stage. We've fitted the back box, the wiring's connected to that. At this stage, of course, we don't want to plug anything in, it's still highly dangerous. So that's fitted up there and clipped neatly to the wall. We'll come back in a moment, because the next stage that we need to do is to connect the wiring from the unit itself to the connection box in the back box, and then we can screw the unit into the back box, and those are the connections then made. Okay, so we've got the unit connected to the back box and screwed in place, so that's nice and solid. You can see that we have there's adjustment on the light, pretty much anywhere you want it to go, and adjustment on the direction that we put the PIR and the camera. The PIR is 180 degree sensitive, so that if anything goes off at right angles to the camera, then the film will start turning. What I want to show you here are the settings on this particular unit. They're pretty standard settings. This is a 2-mode light, so we can have it in the down position. We can have it so that the camera comes on during the day without the light, and if we push that up, we can have the camera and the light coming on during the day as well. So it's 24-hour light coming on together with the camera. Obviously we don't feel that we need the light during the day, so we're going to set it to simply nighttime mode, which means the light only comes on at night, as does the camera. But of course in the nighttime mode the camera comes on during the day as well. So the camera's 24 hours, but the light's only dusk till dawn. On the PIR itself, I have a huge job saying PIR. On the unit itself, where the lens is located, we have a couple of adjustments we can make. One is the sensitivity control. That allows us to choose how far away we want to pick movement up from. The door to the property we're trying to protect is about 7 or 8 metres away, so we're going to set that to medium sensitivity, so that anything that happens within that area, it will start the camera. It does actually work if you set it for 7 or 8 metres. It does work up to 10, but it's got to be quite a bit of movement to work for 10 metres. Now that stops things like trees, water reflection or whatever setting the camera off. So we've set the sensitivity to about 7 or 8 metres, about mid-range for this camera. And then of course we've got the time setting for how long the light stays on. In this particular instance we don't want the light on for very long, so we've set that to about 15 seconds. So both of those controls are on the back of the PIR, and the PIR unit itself houses the camera lens. So everything is controlled from this little thing down here. We'll point that in the direction of the door that we would like to, well, I could get the camera actually to scan across to the door that we're going to protect in relation to the unit, and then as it scans back, you'll see that we can quite easily set this unit up so that the camera is facing towards the door or just in front of the door, so that we can see anything coming in from the other side of the door as well. So that's all set up. The cable, as you can see, if the camera can follow me around here, the cable you can see now has gone through between the frame and the brickwork. We've put quite a bit of insulating tape around the flex to protect it, as well as placing it in a little bit of conduit. This particular conduit is a piece of reinforced hose pipe. It's as simple as that. Now when that's got sand and cement point jointing all the way down there, the cable won't rub along the brickwork and cause it to fray and potentially short circuit. So that's a little bit of homemade conduit using a reinforced hose pipe. And then the flex goes on to the socket, which I can't repeat often enough must be RCD protected. Back up to the unit, and you will see, I don't know how close the camera can get, but you will see there is a slot in the camera which takes eventually the memory card, and that simply pushes in to the slot so that that's ready for filming. You'll also notice there's a little USB connection there, if you can see that. That allows you to plug the unit itself directly into a laptop to program the unit with the day and the time, so that every time it goes off it records the day and the time. The software comes with this particular unit. Very, very simple to use. So we put the memory card in the unit, close the door, and you get a little Allen key with the unit, which allows you to lock that up nice and tight, and that keeps it waterproof because it closes against a rubber gasket. So not only is that closed, but it's 100% watertight. Okay. Now I'm going to set this up. It takes a couple of minutes from when you turn it on for the unit to set itself, to get itself ready for action. I'm going to turn that on and then we'll show you it in operation. Okay, so everything has been set up with the camera and the light. I'm being filmed from inside the house now, and I'm going to play the part of a burglar walking towards the patio door, and as I walk through the PIR sensor, you should see the light of the camera coming on, and as soon as that comes on you'll know that I'm being filmed and we've set everything up properly. So I'm going to walk towards the camera now, crossing the PIR path, and hopefully you'll see the light coming on. And that's it really. You saw the light coming on, that means the camera has come on. If the light flashing on and off during the night because you have a garden full of cats or dogs or whatever really gets on your nerves, you can cover the lens with some darker paper so that you've got a very dimmed light and it doesn't annoy you and everybody else. But it's a very sensitive piece of equipment. It records everything without you needing to be there. And as I said, you can come home every day or every week or every month, simply take the memory card out, put it into your computer, and it will show you what's been happening in your garden. The cost of that piece of equipment was about £35. It takes about 25 minutes, half an hour to install. Invaluable piece of security equipment. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you.